That's what we want to discuss now. The NLC is to protest, to begin a protest in Imo State over what it described as violation of workers' rights by the state government. Of course, part of what the NLC president said at that meeting was allegations by the Imo State against the workers to include refusal to implement previous agreements, especially the accord reached on 9th January 2021, outstanding salary arrears of about 20 months, and a number of other issues. Let's have a conversation with the two representatives from both sides this morning. Chris Onyeka is Assistant General of the Nigerian Labour Congress. He joins us virtually with Austin Chilakpo, who is Special Advisor to Governor Uzodinma on Labour Matters. He's also a former chairman, Nigerian Labour Congress in Imo State. Mr. Chilakpo, thank you both for joining us this morning. But let's begin with you, Mr. Chilakpo. So this is where we are now. First of all, what would you say to these allegations by the NLC against the Imo State government?
Thank you very much. Once again, like you said, my name is Comrade Austin Chilakpo. I was the immediate past chairman of Nigerian Labour Congress. Constitutionally, my tenure ended on the 7th of March 2023. Yes, it's my pleasure, and I want to react to these allegations leveled against the Imo State government, which I am the special advisor to His Excellency on Labour Matters. Number one, my appointment as SA Labour. This is the first time any governor in Nigeria decided to appoint a Labour leader special advisor on Labour Matters. That distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma appointed me as his special advisor means he's had the interests and welfare of the workers at heart, because he knows that I'm a bridge builder. In the first place, they said workers of Imo State are owed 20 months unpaid salaries. This means that from January 2022 to November 2023, no worker in Imo State have been paid salaries. This is absolutely lies. This is a way to give a dog a bad name in order just to hang it. The workers of Imo State not only earn their salaries as at venue, but earns 13th month salary since the inception of Governor Hope Uzodinma's administration in 2020. I want to let you know that where can a governor pay 13th month salary and at the same time you owe his salaries? You can see that this allegation is neither here nor there. No worker in Imo State is owed a farthing, as I'm talking to you right now, as SA Labour and as a member of Nigerian Labour Congress. The allegation is neither here nor there. Look at a situation whereby the government of Imo State is being alleged that they have declared 11,000 workers ghost workers. I discovered this, that maybe the leadership of the Congress have no records. It is on record that Governor Hope Uzodinma has never sacked any worker since he came into power as the governor of Imo State. He has never sacked a single worker. All right. He said he's even employing.
Yeah. Mr. Chilakpo, just 1 second, if you can hear me.
This one will be testified when you look at the check-off dues they receive from unions that are paid check-off dues here as at menu.
Well, just 1 second.
Check-off dues of civil service union have increased.
Yeah,
teachers have increased.
Yes.
Local government areas have increased.
We hear you, but can we take the opinion? Can you take the opinion of the the person who is also on this panel with you, Mr. Onyeka? You've listened to the side of the government on this matter, that maybe the NLC does not have its facts right, and that there is no such thing as outstanding arrears of up to 20 months. Are there other things, or are the facts being mixed up somewhere?
I didn't get you very well. Please, can you repeat the question, if that is for me?
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me well now, Mr. Onyeka?
Okay, I can hear you.
Okay. You've listened to Mr. Chilakpo. How do you respond?
They're very, very clear. And I want to thank you for having me. And the comrade SA to the state governor also knows the issues, and he knows the truth, which he's not saying here. The facts are very, very clear. We have had agreements with this governor, even when Chilapo here was the chairman. Those agreements in 2021, January precisely, was part of the people that came to sign that agreement was the present governor of Kebbi State, was the deputy, one of the deputy presidents of NLC. And he came in conjunction with other labor leaders to sign an agreement with this governor, January 2021. Those agreements were reneged. They were never fulfilled.
What are the things contained in that agreement? Does it include these outstanding arrears of salaries?
All of them, all those salaries we're talking about.
And these issues are still outstanding as we speak.
Yeah, they are still outstanding. All of them are still outstanding. The governor has the penchant of declaring workers in his state ghost workers. There is an association today that exists in Imo State that is called Association of Unpaid Workers. If the governor has paid them, where would we have such association existing?
Is this association known to the government of Imo State? Is this association you're talking about, is it known to the government?
Of course, it's not to the government of Imo State. In the local, I will give you an example. At the level of the local governments, we documented about 1,180 workers as at March this year that were unpaid, documented. And that was what led us to organize what we call Workers' Tribunal, where those affected would come to talk about this. You see, these issues are issues that affect our people.
Okay. Well, Mr. Onyeka, just 1 second. Are these facts, this association that you mentioned, this Workers' Tribunal that you talked about, does Mr. Chilaku also know about him?
Mr. Chilaku, he knows. He won't claim not to know.
Okay, let's ask him.
Was even why Chilaku was still the chairman.
Okay, let's go ahead and ask him. Let's ask him now. Mr. Chilaku, you are aware of these facts, yes or no? And how do you react to what Mr. Onyeka said?
I still want to maintain that there was nothing like that. But before this, let me react to what he talked about, the issue of agreement. By the time that so-called agreement they claim was written, I was the chairman of Nigeria Labour Congress. I never signed that agreement. As a chairman of the state, my signature is supposed to be in that agreement. I wasn't like that. Let him show you that agreement. They were commending the governor for paying salaries as at men due. Go through that agreement. You will see it there. How can you be speaking from both sides of the mouth?
But you also heard
say
him
that
just
he's paying
now.
salary, are commending paying salary as at men do, is the same man they are now accusing that is owing salaries.
Well, Mr. Onyeka, you just heard him say, beg your pardon, Mr. Chilaku,
go ahead and put their houses in order.
Just 1 second. You heard him say now.
Any association you claim that is formed by unpaid workers.
Yes.
I think this may be hired group. That's why people are saying all these moves are politically motivated.
Can you hear me now, Mr.
If you are a local government worker, you are owed, you channel your grievances through NOGE, National or Local Government Employees. If you are a teacher, you channel it through a NUT. If you are a civil servant, you channel it through the Nigerian Civil Service Union. Anything outside it is an aberration. It's not part of what Labour knows about. If the present Labour is now beginning to listen to people that doesn't bear NLC affiliates, I don't think it is right. As I'm telling you today, as I'm talking to you today, the government of Imo State has paid salary up to September, and by tomorrow next, October salaries will be paid, including pensioners. They are not owing anybody any salary in Imo State. If this is the basis, NLC Abuja is saying that coming to Imo State, let them tell Imo people a different news. It's not
have any documents.
No worker is being owed.
Yeah, Mr. Chilaku, do you have any documents to confirm to NLC, both in Imo State and in Abuja, that all the facts that they are hearing and acting upon, to the extent of organizing press conferences, are false?
I have the document. Look, let me give you an instance.
Have you had any engagement? Just 1 second, Mr. Chilaku, just 1 second. Have you had any engagement with the NLC in Imo State, so that all these issues that are brewing could have been settled? Okay, so what was the result of it? Was Mr. Onyeka part of that meeting?
Mr. Onyeka is not in charge of Imo State. Mr. Onyeka that is there is not in charge of Imo State. There is a secretary posted to Imo State And the leadership of NLC in Imo State. Onyeka is in Abuja. He can't be in Imo State talking about Imo matters. I mean, I'm engaging the leadership of Labour in Imo. It has to be those that are in government as Labour leaders in Imo State. I'm not one from Abuja. Onyeka should listen to us and listen very well on what is happening in Imo State.
Okay.
I am telling you emphatically that if he is claiming that workers are being owed, let him show you any letter from Norge.
Okay.
That is an affiliate of NLC that's in charge of local government workers.
All right,
that indicates that
just 1 second, Mr. Chilaku. Let's ask Mr. Onyeka now if he has a response to the issues that you have raised. Mr. Onyeka, are there evidences to show that indeed the state government has not done the needful, which is getting the attention of the NLC at the headquarters in Abuja?
Mr. Onyeka, we have networks. Our networks are very clear all over the federation. We have affiliates, and we work on what our affiliates tell us and the information they get to us. The Imo State issue, I am well abreast of the Imo State issues because I've been involved in it for a long time. The governor of Imo State has so cowed the labor leaders in the state, to the extent that he has flown the Nigerian Labour Congress in Imo State. He has created his own Nigerian Labour Congress and insists that that particular Nigerian Labour Congress will be the one that he works with in the state. The same way he has flown some leaders of affiliates in the state to use them to work against the workers in the state.
So essentially, Mr. Onyeka,
is very clear.
Yeah.
You can ask the Honorable SK.
Yeah, just 1 second. He can hear you.
Did he leave office?
Yeah.
Ask the Honorable SK. How did he leave office as the chairman of Nigerian Labour Congress? He abandoned his position because of threats from the state governor. The state governor threatened him, and he felt he had to flee for his life. We reported that issue to the International Labour Organization. So you can ask him what led to his leaving. He did not leave office on March 7th. He left office far before March 7th because he had to abdicate his position. Well, because of the
right now, Mr. Onyeka, if you can hear me, right now, Mr. Chilaku is not the one that is on trial. It's the issues. It's between the NLC and the government of Imo State. What is interesting, Mr. Onyeka, is that Mr. Chilaku is a former chairman of the NLC, and he is also working with government right now. Isn't that supposed to be helpful, helping the cause of labor? Are you saying that Mr. Chilaku is not serving the interests of the workers on whose behalf he's expectedly supposed to be in the government working with the governor? Can you hear me, Mr. Onyeka? Okay.
I was just appointed 2 months ago as a special advisor to the governor. After the governor has threatened him, intimidated him, and he abandoned his position as state chairman of NLC. He ran away because of the fear of his life. The governor now found.
Oh dear. Well, let's we're rounding off now, so let's take a quick response from Mr. Chilaku. Well, Mr. Chilaku, you heard him, and they continue to maintain that there is a lot that is being hidden, not being made known, and consequently getting the attention of labor. How do we resolve this? How do you think? What do you think the government should do? Would you suggest or advise the governor of Imo State to invite the members of the NLC in Imo State, and as well as the federal, at the national level, so that these issues can be resolved and that these protests will not see the light of day and everybody will go peacefully and joyfully?
Thank you very much. Look, the governor of Imo State is very disposed in seeing labor. And I want to tell you that the governor sees labor leaders in Imo State at least once every month. He sees them. And how can the governor come to resolve issues when you are telling lies? Look at that, telling us here that 10,000 pensioners are owed. On the 10th of October, pensioners celebrated their pensioners' day at their office. The national president of pensioners was physically present. The general secretary was physically present. And every other national executive member of pensioners were there.
Okay.
That day, the pensioner chairman His Excellency, the Single State Uzodimma, was also physically present.
All right, well, Mr. Chilapo, what we can only hope...
commended the governor
just a second,
their pensions
because we've completely run out of time right now, Mr. Chilapo, if you can hear me. We've completely run out of time, and, you know, but the issues seem to be absolutely unresolved right now. So what we can only hope is that Labour and government will take this opportunity to have this conversation so that, you know, governance is not disrupted by whatever action Labour decides to take. Austin Chilapo is Special Advisor to Governor Uzodimma on Labour matters. He's also a former chairman of Nigeria Labour Congress in Imo State. We've also had Mr. Chris Onyoka, who is Assistant General Secretary of the Nigeria Labour Congress. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time this morning. So we're back right after now to take on another issue. Do stay with us.